This is a podcast by WellHouse Church, where certain things are fixed, the essentials of faith, and the best beer is served on tap, while everything else is just a matter of perspective.
What's up?
All right. It is midnight on a Sunday night.
It is.
We have been recording all night and took a little bit of a break because we realized we forgot to chill beer.
We forgot to chill the beers.
So, we're back. And back in the swing of it. So, we're doing it. Excuse me. But we're still on our Advent beers from Clown Shoes.
Yours has a funny name tonight.
It is funny. I like it. The Lil Crispy.
The Lil Crispy.
As in Lillian. No, I'm just kidding. No. Lil Crispy. Or Lil Crispy Crisp Ale. Cullen? What is a crisp ale?
Honestly, I don't know. I've never heard beer categorized that way.
I have no idea.
Crisp ale.
It is 4.8%. And it's got a little dude with a parachute here.
Oh. Crisp beers are highly carbonated and have a clean finish.
I'm going to like this. So, yeah, that's mine. I really don't know what else to expect from it.
So, mine's called the Mango Farm.
Nice.
And it's an IPA with some kind of mango adjunct. And it is lore-based. Cool. And I have a story about it.
Love it.
It's 5.75% ABV before I start the story. But this is what it says. Crunkle Sam used to worry about how he'd find the time to pick all of these damn mangoes, but the orchard's new owner has a few helpful techniques from her days as a bubble farmer that instantly boosted productivity on the mango farm. Thanks to her, they've already harvested more mangoes in a month than all of last year. Now they just need to keep the Intergalactic League of Farmers happy. This crisp and juicy IPA hits the spot like a freshly picked mango on a hot summer day. Mango puree and a hop bill including Mosaic, Cascade, Azaca, and Simcoe make Mango Farm an oasis of fresh fruit flavor.
Alrighty. Interesting.
If you didn't know, I am like...
He's a mango fiend.
Oh, yeah. Love mango.
Anything,
all things mango.
And they did know that because you've had mango sours on here before.
Oh, that's right. If you listen to that one episode where I had a mango sour.
Yeah. Yeah, our regular listeners would know that. But
yep.
All right, you ready?
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. Very hoppy on the nose.
Mine is too.
Well, yours is an IPA. It's meant to be.
Really fruity.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, I could drink this all the time.
Oh, yeah.
If I could afford it and it was not a seasonal release, I would replace this as my daily drinker. It's what you would expect. Pretty well balanced between the hops and the malt. Clean finish.
Yeah.
Heavily carbonated. Everything that it said that it would be. Actually, really like that. There's not like a whole lot going on with it.
But for what it does well.
Yeah.
Yep. I get that.
Yeah.
Score?
6.5.
I think I'm going 7.4 on mine.
Okay.
Really good IPA.
Mm-hmm.
Like really good. I will drink it again.
Yeah.
And 7.4 is like a really good score for me. I think I want the mango a little bit more. I think that's my only critique of it, is like I want a little more mango.
I feel that.
It's definitely there, but it's like tickling in the background.
Yeah. I feel that. Hey, clown shoes.
Want to do a thing?
You want to do a thing? Let's work together and we'll release something like the WellHouse Brew or something like that.
I would be here for that, especially the lore base.
Yeah. We could do
we could do some fun things
fun
together.
things.
We could do fun things
We
together.
could do fun. We could make fun.
We could make fun.
You want to make fun with us? we will make some fun.
Love it.
All right.
Let's make some fun with theology.
Let's do that.
So, starting a new series, and we're going to be talking about the idea, concept of revelation, not
the book.
The book.
Yeah.
This is always a major misnomer here.
Mm-hmm.
When people think revelation in a Christian context, they naturally think about the book.
So if you clicked on this episode and expected us to talk about the 4 horsemen, not happening.
You are going to be
You're
disappointed.
sorely disappointed.
Yep, your expectations have not been met.
But hang with us. Still going to be a good conversation.
It will. And actually, it's the conversation that precedes Revelation, the book.
The prophecy. Yeah.
As the revealing. That's literally what it means. Revelation means having something revealed.
Right.
And so in the Christian context, when we talk about it, it's the revelation of God, how God himself has revealed himself.
Right.
You have 2 main schools of thought for revelation. You have general revelation, also sometimes called natural revelation. And you have special revelation.
Right.
What's an example of general revelation?
No clue.
Do you have any idea what an example of natural revelation would be?
No, but I think I might for special.
Okay, what's something that's special revelation?
I'm thinking, and I could be wrong here. This is
you're going on a win. Yeah, you're shooting from the hip. Yep.
Like the.
Also, I just realized how terrible of a metaphor that is.
It's awful.
Yeah, shooting from the hip. Yeah, no. Yeah, no.
Not like a theophany type deal though.
Yes.
Is that special revelation?
That would be special revelation.
Okay. Hey, I'm learning things.
Look at you.
Learning things.
That would theophany. Theophany literally means God's sighting.
Right.
So yes, that is a category of special revelation. General or natural revelation, which is what we're really going to talk about in this episode.
Okay.
The next episode, we'll start a conversation about special revelation.
Okay.
Because another piece of special revelation would be the Bible.
Right. Okay.
But also theophanies and several other category or things would fit in that vein of special revelation. But for this one, we're going to talk about natural or general revelation. So an example of a natural or general revelation would be creation itself. Something that is already here that can reveal something about God.
So, okay.
You tracking?
I think so.
The stars, the universe, creation itself, something about that can lead you to some kind of revelation of God.
So, that's what I wanted to say.
That's why I said...
But,
that's why I tried to include natural, because I was like, maybe that'll help him.
That felt like a too obvious of answer if I'm
yeah. But nature, natural,
makes sense.
Now okay, so there's a famous argument, academic debate, between a guy named Karl Bart and a guy named Emil Brunner over the concept of natural theology. Emil Brunner is in favor of natural theology. Karl Bart is not. Not is not really a great thing. Not in the same way, for sure. And definitely,
I feel like you have to be in some way.
Yeah, Bart's really not, but kind of. Bart's doing his own thing there. But for most of us, yes. Now, to Bart's credit, why should someone be weary of natural theology or natural revelation? Which they're kind of one and the same, but
like pantheism as an issue.
It could be.
Yeah.
That could be an easy way. So pantheism is the idea that God and the world are the same.
Yeah.
Which historically would be heretical.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, that is one fear.
Right.
Or could be one fear.
That would be an extreme.
Mm-hmm.
But
can you think of another reason why someone like Karl Barth? Let me ask it this way. Let me ask you a different question. What do you know about Karl Barth?
Nothing.
So I have
except that he's German, and I just learned that I don't know.
I don't even
45 minutes ago.
I think he's German. I'm going to fact check that on myself. Swiss. Dang it.
Oh, he's Swiss.
Swiss.
Okay.
I'm glad I checked.
So I literally knew nothing about him.
Karl Barth is famous for his claim that the ultimate revelation of God is found in the person of Jesus.
Interesting.
He's the one that makes that statement famous / infamous.
Okay.
And actually,
yeah,
he does it in this conversation.
Oh.
Why is Karl Barth weary of natural theology?
Jesus.
Because it means that God can reveal himself without Jesus.
Fair point. But
it's a very fair point.
Yeah, fair point.
But I actually side with Brunner on this whole conversation. I actually don't think that natural or general theology or revelation is harmful. Because I think there's lots of ways in which God reveals himself without revealing himself in Jesus. Mm-hmm. I think that truth is true today. I do think God's ultimate revelation is found in Jesus.
Sure.
But I also see no reason to think that
that's the only way that he can reveal himself.
Or not just that he's somehow limited to that revelation, but also that how do I say this? That there's not value that comes from God revealing himself naturally and generally.
Okay.
So, for instance. Have you ever been out in nature and felt like you had a spiritual moment?
Oh, for sure. All the time.
And what was the inspiration for that spiritual moment?
Depends.
Is it ever nature's self?
Yeah, I think the peace of it is what brings some level of comfort. But
that's natural revelation. Do you think that can happen for non-Christians?
For sure.
So you believe in some kind of idea of natural revelation because God has revealed himself through nature without the person of Jesus.
For sure.
That would be very Brunner of you.
No.
I'm in the same boat. I see no reason to think that there's not value given both in what it communicates about God, but also what it communicates about humanity.
Right.
That God reveals himself in nature.
Well, and that's what I was about to say, too, is we can look at even the Native Americans, and they knew that there was something divine about creation itself.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they worshipped creation in some way, right? And so somehow that they knew that there was this divine thing about it. So I feel like just culturally or historically, rather, we just see the beauty in nature and see its connection to some sort of divine likeness.
Yes.
I just think that that's just true. But
now, to your original point, the big danger here is
that issue.
Well, yeah, is connecting divinity to creation, nature itself, as synonymous, as the same thing. that becomes quite problematic.
Right.
When pantheism becomes a piece of the conversation, that's quite a game changer.
Right.
Excuse me, for a lot of different reasons, least of which is the fact that we can see through science that the earth is literally passing away.
Right.
The earth is dying.
Yeah.
Which creates quite the problem. If God is
the earth and earth is God, that means God can now die.
Correct.
Yeah.
That becomes extremely problematic in any theological system.
Yeah.
So I don't see a lot of value in that position, even outside of the fact that it's historically heretical.
Right.
I just don't see. I don't see the allure of a pantheistic construct.
Right.
I definitely see the allure of a panentheistic construct.
For sure.
Which is that God is in creation, but God is not creation.
Right. Definitely here for that.
That in the middle actually really matters.
Very important.
Really matters.
If you are going to use these terms, make sure you don't mix them up.
Correct.
It's easy to mix them up.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't, because you could really piss some people off if you're not careful.
In is in.
Yeah.
Theism is in. God is in creation. Pantheism, God is creation.
Yeah.
The in is in. The joining together is an equal sign.
Mm-hmm.
God creation, God is in creation. So if you stay in this kind of panentheism realm, or even like in a very transcendent realm where God is definitely connected to disconnected from the universe or from creation itself, I think it's wrong of us to say that natural revelation or general revelation is wrong, because literally the Psalms speak to this, that the stars manifest the glory of God. That's a form of general revelation.
Yeah.
That's a form of natural revelation.
Even though the text where it talks about the rocks will cry out his name type deal too.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not.
I don't think so, because I just started thinking about it too. In Genesis 4, when Cain kills Abel, God says to Cain, "What have you done? I hear the voice of your brother crying out from the ground."
Yeah, true. Fair enough.
That's not exactly the same as what I'm saying, because there's something unique and special happening about that revelation. And the rock. Those are not things that naturally do those things. Or do those actions. But the stars always, their existence reveals the glory of God.
In what way? Walk that out for me theologically.
So if you allow me to use special revelation as a source, because I need the Bible to do it.
Sure.
God speaks light into existence.
Okay.
Like literally the fact that all of this grandeur has come from the mouth of God means that God not only created all of this and spoke it all into existence, God is big enough that all of this came out of his mouth. That speaks to the grandeur and glory of God.
But couldn't we say the same thing about the land, like about the ground too? Like, why couldn't we say that same thing about the ground?
Oh, you absolutely could.
Okay. Well, I mean, but that's my argument.
Oh, but a rock doesn't normally speak. That's the problem. Is that a rock doesn't normally speak. Okay. The fact that this is bigger than this, and looking at the stars makes you think about something bigger than yourself, some kind of divine higher power. That's natural theology. God appearing to Moses in a burning bush.
That's special revelation.
Special revelation.
For sure.
When Balaam and the donkey.
Special revelation.
Special revelation.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
a natural medium can still be used in special revelation.
Mm-hmm.
But if the natural thing does something other than what it naturally does, it's no longer special revelation. I mean, it's no longer natural revelation. It's special revelation.
Okay.
You see the difference?
Yes.
Okay.
Glad we were able to walk that out.
Yeah.
That unblurred some lines.
So, I mean, I think
overall, general revelation, valid place to be, and something to consider.
Well, and I think the truth of general revelation or natural revelation for myself, and I realized this in North Carolina. When I went to North Carolina on sabbatical, our friend Andrew Barrett and I took a hike. We hiked a mountain. We got to the top of this mountain, and we did a silent hike. So no talking on the way up. We got to the top, and we sat down, took our food out, and Andrew prayed. He recited the psalm, which was beautiful and fitting in that moment. And I just remember looking up and looking across, and I'd never been to the top of a mountain. I'd never hiked to the top of a mountain, and got to the top and looked out and seen nothing but mountains. Mm-hmm. And being able to pinpoint cars off in the distance and seeing how tiny they were, but also realizing that that's not any more than like a mile away from me kind of thing. Staring out across, watching birds fly through, weaving in and out of the trees in the forested mountains, and flying in between the mountains, and just looking out at this beauty and not really sure what to make of it in that moment, if I'm being honest. And in the quiet, Andrew breaks the silence, and he goes, "The world's bigger than what you're going through." And it's in that moment, looking out at this kind of grander creation in a way that you've never seen before, and going, yeah, I'm real small compared to this, and God's real big if he made this. The truth in I don't think anyone can come to saving knowledge of Jesus through nature. We must have special revelation. I'm not saying that at all. Yeah. Or I'm not refuting that at all. The truth that I'm communicating is that natural and general revelation always confirm and encourage the fact that God is bigger than we are. Sometimes it's helpful to have a reminder that he's bigger than we allow him to be.